chapter, Paul and these fellows had been through a storm. They were shipwrecked, and they didn't know where they were. They survived the entire night on a raging sea, and they had escaped death. And on this ship that they were traveling, there were some soldiers. And the intention of the soldiers on the ship was to kill everybody. But then just so happens that the ship ends up blowing up to pieces. And then at the end of chapter 27, we hear Paul saying that some came on boards and some came on broken pieces, but they all made it to the shore safely. Right. So they end up on an island called Malta, and the natives that are at this island make them feel real nice. They treat them nice, which was really good, because after having been on the raging sea all night long, anywhere was good. Anywhere was better than being on the sea. And then, even though they had reached land, it was still raining and it was still cold, so they needed someone to extend a little kindness to them. Amen. And so the natives at Malta made a safe place for them. They provided fire. They made them feel real nice and welcome. And just when they felt at home and they thought that they could take a moment to breathe, Paul gathers up some sticks and he goes to rekindle the fire. And when he grabs up the sticks and the bundle of stuff to rekindle the fire, he didn't realize that he had also picked up a viper. And so, to his surprise, when he goes to rekindle the fire, the viper jumps out from the bundle of sticks and it attaches itself to his arm. And the reality is that we're always feeling comfort. We're always looking for places where we can find comfort. But the reality is that there are times when there's more safety out on the raging sea, hanging onto boards and pieces, than there is in the places where you feel real comfortable. And see, the viper could not stand the heat of the fire. So I want to tell you all, I came all the way, however we came. I already told you where I came from. I can't remember, I just lost my train of thought. I turned 30 last week, so I have those 30 moments. No, I was kidding, that really was a joke. I don't forget one time. But everywhere that you feel comfortable is not 100% safe. And so when the viper tried to escape its own death, it put Paul in danger. And so it is with this generation. This is the generation that has been through so much at an early age, and it's clear to all of us that our generation is under attack. We recognize that we are the generation that has been left uncovered, only to be tossed back and forth by every new trend. We are the generation that has seen modeled before us a part-time Christianity. And God can't use any part-time lovers. He's not interested in any part-time lovers, but that's all that we've seen in many cases. Where we see people who worship and shout on Sunday morning, but then by Monday, they're living like you fill in the blank. And so it is that we are shipwrecked. We're shipwrecked because instead of us taking time to learn John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, or instead of learning Philippians 4:13 that says you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, or instead of us learning Galatians 5:1 that says walk in the spirit and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, or maybe even Psalm 139:14 that says praise God for you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Instead we've enjoyed the world and learning stuff like Little Kim 101 that says download, he chat, I chat, though we never met, he said he want to explore me like the internet. Stuff like Trey Songz, we met Trey Songz and Gucci Man and Soulja Boy teach us stuff like Shorty sent a twit pic saying come and get this, you know the song, LOL smiley face, LOL smiley face. We're not going to come in church and act fake tonight. Or we let Frankie and Neffy tell us that it's okay to have 6 kids and no husband. And we're now in a cold 10 man down situation wondering why our young people are so promiscuous. Or we let BET teach us that it's okay to try out 40 different women just to see which one you really want to be with, Ray J. Come on. And so we recognize the dilemma. We understand that many times when you're promiscuous and many times when we're in an identity crisis, we're just trying to find a safe place. We're trying to find our own personal islands of Malta. We're just trying to find a peaceful shore where we're trying to escape the drama of home relationships or trying to escape the drama of bad dating relationships because no one taught us how to date. In fact, no one really taught us how to love ourselves, and we're running around trying to love somebody else. So we recognize the dilemma. We know the story. You know your story. You know your story. Whatever it is, you know your story better than anybody knows it. You know the places of your pain. You know the places of your shipwreck. You know what your mother did and what your daddy did. You know whose heart you broke, and you know who broke your heart. You know the story better. And some of us are walking around not just with issues that other people inflicted on us, but we're walking around with the guilt of issues and things that we inflicted on other people.
All right, now.
We don't ever talk. They don't have no deliverance conference for that, for the stuff that we did to people that we can't tell anybody.
All right.
With our shouting selves, with our praising selves, with our this brother walked past me with shouting in some Gucci shoes, and I got distracted.
Yeah.
I won't say which brother. You'll have to catch it on the way out the door. Just look down. Just messing with you.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I think that church should be fun.
Yeah. Amen.
And so, but you know your story. But I want you to know tonight that God does not intend for you to remain shipwrecked. It's not God's intention. And maybe tonight you're here, you're saying, well, I'm not really shipwrecked. And all those things you're talking about, that really doesn't apply to me. But guess what? You live in a world with people who are. And so by virtue of the fact that you live in this world with shipwrecked people, you need to hear this message too. So turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, this butt's for you. This butt's for you. But Paul found himself in a comfortable place. He found himself in a comfortable place. And after what he had already been through all night long, anywhere would have done. Any place would do. And it was there that the devil tried one last thing. It was in the place where he found comfort. It was in the place where he found some friends, some hospitality. It was in that place that the devil tried made one last attempt to utterly take him out and destroy him. The viper, a venomous viper. I don't know about you all, but does anybody watch like TLC? You watch the Learning Channel. Every now and then they'll have like on Discovery Channel, TLC, documentaries about snakes, about bears, about, what you name it, they got it. Some strange animal you never heard of, you never saw. They go out in the woods and like Crocodile Man, rest in peace. All those things. But one time I was watching a story about the, TLC, one of those nature things, or Discovery Channel 1, and it talked about snakes and how venomous snakes are. The most venomous snakes can take 3 minutes from the time that they bite you to take you out. That their venom will go through your bloodstream and you'll be done. Like start to swell up, your eyes start to roll in the back of your head, different things happen. 3 minutes. And so I thought about that when I read this text. I'm saying, man, Paul really had 3 minutes. But then the text goes on to say that the people waited for a long time. They waited for a long time expecting that something was going to happen, and nothing did. Because Paul, the viper, is venomous, it jumps out of the fire, it bites into Paul, but Paul shakes it off.
Well,
I got really excited when I read that text. I was like, oh man, he shook it off. Okay, Paul shakes it off. So I said that everywhere that you feel comfortable is not 100% safe. I want to let you know that you may have some places where you just search and you found a place of comfort, right? But everywhere that you feel comfortable is not 100% safe. You may have escaped drama in your house. You may have escaped drama even in your church. But some of us, we jump from church to church because we're just trying to find some drama-free stuff, but there really is never a drama-free place. And you may have escaped drama in some relationships, and you may have found a comfortable place with the Crips, with the Bloods, with the bad girls, with the rough people. You may even find some safety in the clubs because it's dark in there and people can't see your face and people can't really see what you're doing, and so you're able to just go undercover. So you found comfort, you found safety there. And he might be oh so fine, but you're not really safe. And he might buy you all the right gifts, but you're not really safe. And she might have it going on and tell you everything that you want to hear, because you guys, you like to hear stuff. You like to hear stuff. You like to hear stuff, and she might tell you everything that you want to hear, make you feel real comfortable, and make you feel real good. But that doesn't mean that you're safe. The only real safety can be found in the presence of Jesus Christ. The only real peace can be found. Some of us are searching for peace, but the only real peace can be found in the presence of Jesus Christ. And don't be deceived by the welcome mats of the world. Let's not be deceived by the welcome mats of the world. Since I was a little girl, my dad, every time I would leave out the house, would say, Danny, keep your eyes and ears open, and we have to yell back to him, and our mouth shut. And then as we go out the door, he's saying, look out for traffic. That was the extra information, look out for traffic. All right, Dad. But as I grew older, I understood what my father meant. Is that danger doesn't always come the way that you expect it to come. It doesn't always come the way that you expect it to come. There's some dangers that we know. We can look and see, you know, that's dangerous. Maybe I'm not going to step on